Teachers need to change with the march of time. Every teacher should come up with at least learning one tool per week, making use of AI tools, and be prepared for the classroom next. AI, it is more like an oxygen, as I said.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Principal Voice Matters. Today, we have with us someone who had spent decades working with schools, teachers, parents, and students, and has been education changed tremendously over the year. Please welcome Dr. Dheeraj Mehrotra, who is the Vice President of GEMS Education India now. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
And today, I just don't want to start with GEMS education only. I want to start with Dr. Dheeraj, who have a vast experience into different domains. So, after spending so many years in educations, and you have seen thousands of children, parents, and teachers, what is the one thing about today's generations that worries you the most?
Well, I feel that today's generation is losing the interest of classroom learning and becoming dependent on technology oriented learning, which is not a good symbol. We need to, first of all, recognize the teachers. Children should actually come forward, engaging with the teachers and keeping the pace of learning through technology at page, but for sure their attendance, their communication with the teachers and the reflective module which they are looking at should be incorporated right in the classroom rather than they are learning beyond the classroom, which is not bad, but it has to begin from the classroom with trust on their teachers, with confidence on their teachers that yes, if I'm there in the class, and that is the reason they are moving to the learning of the data, not the information. They are running away to the factual data present around, but not the information. And here the data and the information which I communicate further is information is meaningful data. So only the teachers can tell you what is right, what is wrong. Grabbing data out of intelligent machines will not teach them ethics, will not teach them the preparation for tomorrow. So that is what I wish that, and for that reason, of course, teachers need to change with the march of time, bringing engagement meter in the classroom for the children so that they don't run away here and there, depending on the online portals and thinking that, oh, that portal is good enough to give me knowledge, not the classroom presence. So I think we, the teachers, need to come up with some more innovative ways to grab them, to catch them young and innocent, rather than teaching the same very way, the way we were taught. So I think that is what is the requirement.
Yes, that's one of the powerful points you shared. And to continue with the same point, as you said, that teachers should be more creative or more innovative. Even nowadays, after this NEP 20 or even the CBSE also passing this circular related to those skill lab or design thinking lab. But so one thing, I also think about this, that it is not about we just, go with the infra only. It is, we need more teachers, and it is not about teachers only. I guess what about we want that their mindset should be changed, as you mentioned. So how that is possible? Because when we are talking about creative thinking, because the teachers right now, they are having the habit of normal, the traditional teaching, you can say, or the classroom teaching. So how we can ensure that that mindset will be changed?
Well, I think the first very important initiative what every teacher should go through is to prepare themselves, groom themselves through the power of technology. So it is not like making use of AI tools to teach, but first of all is to making use of AI tools to enrich and be prepared for the classroom next with some creativity, with some innovation, with some mechanism and new strategies to engage the children in the classroom. And for that reason, of course, every teacher should come up with at least learning one tool per week. Every week, we should know one tool. And that should be the vocabulary, the new chalk and the duster That connect has to be made forward. And that will not only bring confidence among the teachers, but will prepare them street smart to cater to the requirement of the new age children. And for that, of course, a training is a must, essential, and it should not be just for the sake of handing or finishing the number of hours of mandate of training. It should be somewhat like in practice, because I believe that training is more like these days as if you go and get the license of driving, but still you are fond
Yes.
of ordering Ola and Uber. So there is no fun. What for you have taken the license for
Hmm.
driving, and still you're dependent on Ola and Uber. So I believe that it is high time for the teachers also to start practicing what they learn, and that has to be the change maker. I am very sure.
But sir, how that is possible right now? It that from the school side, we need to make that culture that there are continuous trainings are happening and teachers are participating in
See,
that, or
every
it is the
school.
teacher like who
Yeah, every school
individually.
is, yes, every management, every school, every principal is very much interested in training the teachers, because otherwise also had this mandate was not there, there were schools, and in fact many of the schools, majority of the schools invested in training programs, and it's going on for long, but the implementation part is missing. Like I take a session recently, I conducted a session on a topic, probably, say, for example, implementing Six Sigma in education, implementing zero defect in the classroom, or implementing a culture where children can come together and learn and sit and develop some case study. So it should not be only limited to learning. It should be actually be ignited in the classroom by themselves and should be implemented. You just can't undergo a training just for the sake of it. So I think that part is missing, and we need to reflect. And I also request, rather wish, the principals and the heads of schools to try implementing something which is being brought forward. Like, for example, Kaushal Bodh initiative is being brought forward by the CBSE. Right from class 6 to 8. So that itself is a new project for the teachers to initiate. And then there
Yes.
is a mention of design thinking as a language, as a subject, and in addition to computational thinking and AI as a subject, right from third to 12th. So, and third to eighth being mandatory. So this again will give a new thought analysis for the teachers, and they can't implement it without learning.
Of course.
And learning is only possible not in isolation. It is possible when these teachers sit together and brainstorm, looking at the circular of the CBSE, looking at the tutorials recommended by the CBSE or the NCRT, and then go page by page, plan out, evaluate, work on the content and the lesson plan and how it's going to be implemented. So the principals are doing it very well, but the teachers need to take that initiative. It's for them. It's going to increase their interest, their engagement meter in the classroom because of the right implementation. You can practice Kaushal Bodh the very way, there are many ways of doing it. Formality wise, you can just tell the children, okay, take the book and do it. Do it on your own. Let it be your classroom or a homework assignment. But there are schools which are actually practicing it in real sense. And that real sense has to be monitored, re-evaluated, and worked in team spirit, because many teachers need to come together to develop that format of interaction. And I believe that will make a change, that will rightly implement the national education policy and the curriculum, what is expected for the schools to grow. Because these days, not only the marks which the parents are demanding, they are
Yes.
demanding the preparedness for the future. They are demanding the overall personality, not only 95 plus or 90 plus. They want that their children should be independent, decision makers, and they are also looking forward to somewhat like making it a possibility in the classroom and making learning a priority for a lifetime in particular.
That's interesting, sir. Now let's move to the next question. Suppose I'm a parent or any of the parents comes to you and says that I just want my child to be successful. So what is the first thing you would tell that parents that not to do?
In order to make your child successful, first of all, every parent should give a quality time to that child. Listening, patient listening to that child is equally important. And of course, try to give the child the book, give the child an assignment of reading the book at least, and try to analyze because the reading culture is fading away. And try to at least have one meal with the child every day so that that meal time is the time when you interact and when you actually share the learning of each other. Maybe a tool of AI you can discuss. And that is how you not only enrich the minds of the children, but also you enrich the minds of all the family members. Talk politics, talk technology, talk cricket, or talk about IPL, talk about people around. So that is what we need to initiate as a reflection. Yeah.
That's like one of the important point you shared, sir. Now let's move to next. So you have met with many successful students. So a year later, what separates students who really do well in the life and from those who struggle? Because as you said, that marks are not alone these days. So what is the one difference you have seen among the students who are successful and who are struggling?
Well, I feel there is a distraction among all the students because of the technology. So, how much is good enough? That is the digital minimalism one has to evaluate, right? There are children who are into social media, but at the same time they know that how much is good enough to work. We should not be distracted, but at the same time they should be taught about career consciousness. They should be conscious about what they have to do. So you need to rotate as a parent. Even I feel the same that my children now they are grown up, they are working. So even I have to interact with them of their career goals and have a goal. Don't change it every day, and hammer to that goal that yes, what I'm doing to approach to that goal or to attain that goal. So that goal, what they have developed, let them be given that priority to develop their own goal. But we, the parents, need to knock to that goal saying that, oh, I hope you're going the same way. I hope you're going the right way. What do you need to approach to that goal? So that case study has to be brought forward that yes, there has to be a goal, but there has to be a plan B also. If you're not getting to that goal, there has to be a plan B also. So give them that length, give them that patience, give them that wisdom to choose their goal, but always keep a plan B in the queue as well. And then, of course, this is how you can build that confidence in the children and support them to that particular goal initiatives. Yeah.
True, sir. So parents are spending, even as you also mentioned, parents are spending more money on education than ever before. But our, children are becoming happier. Like because what I can see from us these time, it's about the technology or the screen time also the every students having their smartphone and they are more involving and more involved in their screens as compared to the family, you can say, or the friends.
Well, I feel that it is every parent's desire to satisfy the child. We all love our kids, but at the same time, we all are afraid of them as well. That is a fact that we all are afraid and afraid in the sense like we work for them, we love them, we care for them, but also we need to listen to them ultimately. So that aspect, I think a family has to maintain that reflection. We need to have proper dialogue, or there may be differences on opinions, but at the same time, we can always discuss what the option B is for, what the option C is for. And ultimately, they need to do research. They need to be given that liberty to do some research and it is all available. There are points and incidences where the AI tools help out in their research at that level also. So I think this is quite clear that how the AI tools are helping us taking our own decisions, by proper prompting and proper prompt engineering. So nothing is hidden. Only thing is that we need to work together, because these days the children have become smarter than ever before, and they have become adults. I'm sure there is no limit of defining their adulthood. 18 years or 21 years is just for number, but the technology has made them adult than the age as such. And henceforth, I think a proper dialogue, a discussion, as I said during the meal time, should make the living lively. And there may be demands from the children because they get carried away by their friends, colleagues, peers. For sure, like that they are demanding digital candies and digital environments. But everything should be with a notion, right? So if I talk about parenting, if I talk about that reflection, even the parenting has changed over the years. Now we need to be more towards satisfying their mental health rather than, of course, in addition to the physical health. The happiness definition has also changed. We have seen the movie, Adolescence, which has proved that the child was at home. The parents were happy that the child is at home, but what he's doing with the device, nobody knew. So we need to be extra careful. Let's make it a habit that there has to be a charging station in the house itself on a table where all the devices should be placed after 10 p.m. The internet should be switched off at 10 a.m. At 10 p.m. and should be on only at 8 a.m. So that we need to respect the life, the living as well, that they should be completely detached for at least 8 hours, because late night working, you don't know, with the sake of the notion that they are working on project, what they are working on. Nobody knows. And today, every individual wants an independent room. They want an independent bed. They want an independent, complete independence, by closing the door, what they are doing with the device, nobody knows. So let's make that charging station. Let's make that rule that internet should be off between this time to this time, and so that they have proper sleep. So I think this is high time that the parents should take it further and try some discipline in life by narrating. Like, remember, my grandparents used to say, my parents used to say, ever you go out, be make sure that you come at 10, by 10 p.m. or by 9:30 p.m., should be everyone. And then we are going to lock the room, lock the main gate. So beyond 10, nobody is allowed. Remember that. So we had that thing in our minds that, my grandfather will be unhappy if I reach beyond 10, so it's better to be early. So I think this is what should be rooted well in the families also, somewhat like rules for your home. And that is how I think we can have a little more disciplined life as a parent.
Yes, sir, very well said, and I have never thought that way. Thanks for sharing that, sir. GEMS works with many different boards, like say it's CBSE, Cambridge, or IB boards. So, and you have seen all those boards and different culture, or different, may be having different perspectives. So, what do you think? Like, it is about the boards, or it is about parents are sometimes focused too much on the board and not enough on the child. So if I say in simple words, what do you think, which board is having the better things if
See,
we compare?
all the boards have different significance. If the child wants to be in India and wants to pursue engineering or NEET or anything within India, the CBSE is the best. ICSE, of course, there's a choice between ICSE and CBSE. But if the child wants to go abroad for learning, the preference to IGCSE or IB is given, and that is probably people look at. But that doesn't mean that the children who go for CBSE cannot go out. They have been going and they are going, but the preference is over that, right? And then, of course, we have a defined narration of, because they are foreign boards, so of course, you have to see to the monetary part also. But as far as CBSE, I believe, because many international schools are also having CBSE, same for ICSE. So I think it is completely on decision for the parents, their choice. And if they look for beyond their this thing, education, foreign education, or any particular campus they are looking at outside India, so in that case, of course, the preference is given to international boards, and the reason is very clear.
Thank you so much, sir. You explained in a very simple way. Now let's move to the next question. So for years, students have learned concepts, formulas, or theories. But now we are talking every day to solve problems, think creatively, and work in teams. So do you think school need more classroom or more kind of that environment or the space where the kind of, as CBSE mentioned, or that Kaushal both you discussed
Mm.
about, so the skill labs or where multi-sector approach which CBSE is talking about, or innovations labs. So what is your perspective?
Well, I feel that the initiative by CBSE in terms of skill education is really very, very revolutionary in itself. And it was actually a miss out till now. Although many of the schools were practicing skill based training and learning, we were having a little scope that time. I feel that it is done the best way now. So the responsibility of implementing it the right way will be through the labs, as you mentioned, the skill labs, which will add value to the workstations, because everything can't be done outside the school or on the field in the open space. So they need to have a skill lab where there can be so many instruments, so many platforms, so many I would say formats of working and learning, where but it has to be comfortable, it has to be spacious, and it has to be through the right vendor, as prescribed by the CBSE. Proper decorum has to be maintained with full freedom of working. And that is what I think is a requisite these days. And the children should love the environment, with proper a format of working together. Because I've visited many foreign schools in many countries, and I've seen that the independence, the joyfulness which these environments carry actually help them to learn better and explore what they are looking at. Thank you.
But sir, let's suppose we are talking about multi-stations. So don't you think it will be a add-on, you can say, in terms of monetary also to the schools? Because it is not about, just having the machinery only. It is about the right resource as well. And one resource person cannot handle all the sectors, because carpentry is completely different, if
Mm.
or
Mm.
woodwork is completely different, robotics AI is completely different, and when we go about, if we talk about aerospace, that is
Mm.
completely different, entrepreneurship is completely different. So how to implement this, like how schools will implement it?
I think the right approach is that the teachers need to come forward and plan out the required format as per the manuals sent by the NCRT and CBSE. Many of the schools are clubbing physics lab, chemistry lab for different initiatives. There is going to be a challenge for extra rooms and extra labs. So I think the right approach would be that they come up with some type of a lab where they can integrate a type of a learning. Many computer labs are being converted, or many of the science labs are being converted, because during affiliation that time, this lab, like a STEM lab, for example, now we call it, was not initiated, was not visioned also. So now
Yes.
there is a need, so there is a challenge, and I think it can be exhibited well. Many classrooms, I visited many schools where the classrooms have been developed into a STEM lab, so that they can accommodate at least 40 children or maybe 30 children in one go. So it's
But sir,
going
in
to be a.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please go ahead.
please. Sir, in STEM lab, that it is possible. Even one person can take care. Even the
Yeah.
teachers, if we will, we can train the school teacher or science teachers, let's say, or
Yes, yes.
computer teacher.
Mm.
They can also, after the training, they can also take the session.
Mm.
But
Mm.
when we talk about the different skills, where it's more about creativity, so is school also need to invest on 3 to 4 extra teachers? So don't you think that it will be a burden for the schools, and that this
I I
implementation
don't
will
think
take
I
time?
don't think they can always divide, because in order to incorporate or encapsulate these things, they have to cut down on few subjects, number of periods. And when they cut down on some of the periods, so the teachers will have less periods. And then, of course, these periods can be given to, the required Kaushal Board initiative or other periods. So I think this is not a difficult task for the principals to implement in their timetable, because in any case, we are going to cut short some periods because we can't increase the number of hours of the school. So the
Yes.
only solution is that we will cut short of few periods in order to, as Kaushal Board initiative is, I think, 2 or 3 periods per week, and then even computational thinking and other formats. So it's going to be a built curriculum symmetry of many subjects, and that is how we are looking at. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm sure many of the principal who are going to listen, you already solved their problem
Yes.
how to integrate into the regular, you can say, the curriculum. Now, let's move to next question. So many schools are now, exploring international collaborations, or you can say student exchange program. So what do you think? Because you have lots of school by the Jam Education India, international schools also. So you have seen that global exposure. So do you think like this opportunity genuinely helps students to grow, or the schools, you can say, to grow?
Yes, actually, it all started during COVID time when we saw that many schools, reoriented the connect online, and there are opportunities where these students are going for exchange visits in different countries. Of course, but not many of them are able to get the benefit out of it because there's a lot of cost involved.
Yes.
But I feel that there are parents who are equally interested in sending their children, because I remember I worked for City Montessori School, Lucknow as well. So where I myself took children to Japan, to Philippines, to Sri Lanka, to Mauritius. So there was a group where we used to go take them to for different conventions, and case study presentation was being done by these children. But there was a sharp increase in the personality, that enhancement in the personality was being observed when these children go to international exposure and showcase their talents. No, I feel it is certainly going to make a difference. But when we make it online, I think those who can't afford, because that requires an extra amount, so they can also be clubbed. And
Yes.
I feel that now the schools are giving opportunities for maximum children to participate through Modern United Nations and other initiatives in the schools, which equally emphasize personality development in a big way. Yeah.
Very true. So, like, moral of the story is, if let's suppose someone can afford offline, that is the great, great, great.
Yes, yes, yes.
Cannot, in that case, online is also benefit, because their,
Very true. Very true.
idea
Yeah.
exchange will be there, and they will get the exposure
Okay.
anyhow, of course. So now let's move to rapid fire, sir. You, without thinking, you have to answer. Just 5 questions will be there. So before that, one interesting questions I am having. If for one day you become the education minister of India, what is the one thing you could change in the school?
Well, I will make
What it
internet
would
free.
be?
I will make internet free for everybody.
Okay. And why so?
Why so? Because the children look forward to, everyone look forward to learning through others, and that is the best way where they can make use of technology the best way without depending on this type of way. So more like an oxygen nowadays. So you don't pay for oxygen for breathing. Similarly, it's free oxygen in the form of internet for working, right? So
Yeah.
that would be my preface. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now let's move to next agenda. So rapid fire. So, sir, marks or mindset?
Of course, the mindset.
AI is opportunity or threat?
It is a challenge, I would say, which one has to occupy in itself, and you can't but AI. It is more
Okay.
like an oxygen, as I said. Yes.
One skill every child must learn.
Communication.
One habit every teacher should develop.
Learning to learn.
One quality every principal should have.
To lead by example.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And now my last question. If you could give one piece of advice to every 15-year-old student watching this today, what would it be?
Well, the number 15 is very unique these days because Suryavanshi is also 15 and he is making a difference world over. So I think the age is not a countable aspect these days. You don't enrich with age. and you have seen it. So great things, people are doing, and one has to be given an environment to work and to flourish. And I'm sure children can do wonders at any stage. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dheeraj sir. Thank you so much. And
Thank
it
you.
was
Thank you.
wonderful talking to you and learning from your
Same here.
experience.
Same here.
And
Take
thank
care.
you everyone for watching Principal Voice Matter. We'll see you in the next episode.